Man is born free, and everywhere he is in chains. To understand exactly how we ended up here, we have to look at what Rousseau called the state of nature. He pictured early humans as solitary creatures, driven by basic needs and guided by a natural compassion for one another. This state of nature is purely an abstract philosophical concept, a baseline to measure what humanity lost as it developed. The misery started with one specific destructive act. Someone enclosed a piece of land and declared, "This is mine." To protect this new concept of property, the wealthy needed rules. They convinced the poor to accept laws under the guise of mutual protection, creating a legal system designed to secure their own riches. Humanity traded its original independence for a system where inequality was baked directly into the rules. We cannot uninvent society or retreat to the woods. So the question becomes, how do we make society legitimate? Rousseau laid out the architectural plans for that state in his 1762 masterwork. The core mechanism of this contract is absolute. Every individual must completely surrender all of their rights and property to the entire community. Because every single person makes the exact same surrender, no one gains an advantage over another. You give yourself to everyone, which means you give yourself to no one in particular. Under this system, true freedom is total, equal submission to a collective structure where there are no individual masters. To keep that structure from sliding back into tyranny, a free society requires a specific mechanical design. In this system, the sovereign is the collective body of all citizens. Only this group holds the absolute, inalienable power to write the laws. The government, or the prince, is entirely separate. It is an intermediate body, a hired executive branch whose only job is to carry out the sovereign's orders. This creates a built-in fail-safe. If the executive branch ever tries to usurp the legislative power and write the laws itself, the social contract is instantly dissolved. By demoting the government from absolute ruler to a temporary, revocable employee, Rousseau provided a logical framework for stripping power from monarchs. But when the people gather to make laws, how do they decide what to do without fracturing into selfish factions? This illustrates the will of all, a chaotic cluster of individuals voting purely on their private interests. The solution is the general will. By voting for the common good, selfish extremes cancel out, leaving one unified direction. Finding that general will is incredibly difficult in a society divided by class, wealth, or status. The general will acts as a mathematical extraction of the public interest. A democracy only functions if its citizens prioritize that collective benefit over their individual gain. Entering this social contract strips away our natural liberty, the unlimited right to take whatever we want by force. In return, we gain civil and moral liberty. This leads to one of his most controversial ideas. A citizen who refuses to obey the general will must be forced to be free. Because the general will represents your own highest, most rational interest, defying it means you are giving in to momentary selfishness. You are enslaved by your own passions. Being forced to be free means society is holding you to your own agreements, pushing you past your base impulses so you can operate as a fully rational being. Rousseau's legacy stretches beyond theory. He acted as the crucial bridge that dismantled the divine right of kings to birth modern democracy. He offered a framework for authority that insisted political power comes from the bottom up, derived entirely from the consent of the governed. A legitimate state functions as a living, moral entity, existing solely to execute the rational will of its people.